Hello and welcome to Auto Reviews. Today let's take a look at the Mazda Verisa, a compact hatchback that has not enjoyed huge success in the Kenyan market compared to its sister hatchback, the Mazda Demio. The Verisa was in production from 2004 till 2015, after which it was succeeded by the Mazda Demio. We will first look at the specifications, then we will conclude by looking at its strengths and weaknesses, as well as finding out if you should consider this hatchback instead of its competitors, which include the Honda Fit, Nissan Note, and even the Toyota Vitz. Beginning with the price, you can get a 2014 or 2015 Mazda Verisa from around 850,000 shillings to around 1.1 million. Earlier models are more affordable, with between 500 to around 700,000 shillings you can get locally used ones that are still in very good condition. This car comes with only one engine option, which is a 1.5 liter that is coupled to a 4-speed automatic. Most of them are front-wheel drive, but there are also all-wheel drive options. That 1.5 liter can achieve between 14 to around 18 kilometers per liter, depending on how you drive as well as how you maintain the car. The fuel tank is 45 liters. In terms of the service costs, on average it will cost around 7,000 shillings to service this car after every 5,000 kilometers. That is the minor service. While for the major service it will cost around 14,000 shillings on average after 10,000 kilometers. If you prefer to use synthetic oil, then you will spend more money, but your service intervals will now be longer. It's always very important to use the exact recommended parts and fluids. For example, when it comes to the transmission fluid, use the recommended one, which is MV-ATF. Otherwise, if you use alternative fluids, they may cause complications. This car gets ventilated discs at the front and drum brakes at the back, and that is quite sufficient. It brakes quite well. The car weight is about 1100 kgs. As for the ground clearance, it measures in at around 155 millimeters, which is slightly below the recommended 165 millimeters, so you may need to watch out for uneven road surfaces and bumps. I wouldn't advise anyone to adjust or modify the clearance because it will affect the handling of the car. So maybe the best thing to do is to install very slightly larger wheels, but if you just tend to mostly drive within the city, then you can just live with the car like that. Finally, some of the extra features you can get in this hatchback include alloy wheels, fog lights, steering audio controls, a navigation system, and automatic AC. So with all that out of the way, let's now take a look at the exterior and interior. Let me know what you think about its exterior design. I think when compared to the Mazda Demio, it looks slightly bigger and more mature as opposed to the Demio that looks more sporty. Generally, it looks basic, but in a good way. The same can be said about its interior. It's very simple and functional. Nothing feels out of place. It's well laid out and straight to the point. At the back, there's sufficient room for 2 average-sized people. 3 can fit, but they will be uncomfortable, especially on a long journey. When compared to the Demio, it's definitely more spacious. The boot is decent enough to carry a large suitcase plus a few other items. Generally, in terms of space, it sits somewhere in between a Mazda Demio and a Nissan Note. So now, what are its strengths? For one, it's quite a capable performer. That 1.5 liter engine is powerful enough even on long journeys. In fact, there's no point in time whereby you will feel that the car is underpowered. There is enough power to get up and go. It's also quite fuel efficient and very reliable. Now let's talk about its weaknesses, and it's only one, which is the suspension. That suspension is delicate, and many owners have reported that they have had to replace the bushes, stabilizers, CV joints, and even the engine mounts because they drove the cars on Maram roads or on roads with potholes. So do take note of that. Avoid driving frequently on untarmacked roads with many potholes. And if you really have to, then drive very slowly. Other hatchbacks such as the Vitz and Honda Fit can handle such roads without much of a problem, but with this Verisa, you will have to be more careful because its suspension is not as hardy as those of the competitors. Other than that, this is quite a good car that you should not overlook. It's more spacious than a Demio and a Vitz. it has a proper automatic gearbox. Remember, most of the competitors come with a CVT gearbox. So if you want something that's not so common, then you can consider this car. It's best to get the front wheel drive option because it's more fuel efficient and is also more reliable, being that it's simple and devoid of that complex electronic 4-wheel drive. So there you have it. I hope this has been helpful. Thanks a lot for watching. Please consider subscribing to the channel for more informative content on cars. You can as well use the details in the description box to support the production of this content by donating. Your support will be much appreciated. That's it for this episode. Stay safe. See you in the next one.